Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the burial grounds here at Lake Central. My name is Josh Burnett, and alongside me is my partner, Simon Culp, commentating his first game tonight. We have a Battle of the Indians tonight as Portage takes on Lake Central here. Both teams are coming in at 1-1 with Lake Central losing their last game to Hammond Morton, and Portage winning their last game against Lowell in a huge win. Simon, momentum's key in high school football games. What does Lake Central have to do to keep that momentum and build more?
I think Lake Central, first of all, has to start off with their passing game. I think they have a strong passing game that they're not really using, and I think it's a key tool to win this game.
We've seen before, Simon, that Lake Central's been able to, once they get that passing game going, they're in a pretty good place. We saw it in that Munster game where they won 37-7 with Sedano just, throwing some big shot plays, opened up the running game, which then opened up play-action plays, and so on and so on.
But Portage has a threat of their own with Zach Warches, who is the highest total yards per game on his team. And I think that we really need to shut down their passing game, and especially their run game really needs to be shut down this game.
We've seen the Lake Central defense hold their own up against opponents lately in the season. They've just been on the field way too much with this offense. We got to get the offense going here tonight. That's all the time we have for now, Lake Central. We'll be back right after the short break.
Dublin Athletic Conference and the IHSAA believe in the philosophy of good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship applauds good play without ridicules of errors or mistakes. Please allow the players to play, the coaches to coach, and the officials to officiate. Lake Central High School thanks you for your attendance this evening, and we certainly hope you enjoy tonight's contest. Fans, please remember that LCHS is a tobacco-free campus. Violators will be asked to leave the premises. Help us keep LC healthy by adhering to this policy. Fans, Lake Central Administration would like to remind everyone to please stay out of the areas marked with yellow chain link. These areas are off limits to non-authorized personnel. And now, here are your Lake Central Indians.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this battle of the Indians here at the burial grounds. We've got a big one today as Portage and Lake Central face off, both 1-1. And alongside me is my partner Simon. Simon, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
At Lake Central High School, and this is my first game commentating, and I think it'll be quite an interesting game actually, because I think it might actually be a close one.
Now, Simon, we talked about this a little bit in the pregame. What do you feel Lake Central's got to do today to win?
I think they really just have to push the passing game. I think if they push the passing game, then we'll be able to just take this one home. Because, I mean, last game, we saw a lot of tries for running, and I don't think that went very well.
Definitely did not seem to go very well. We've got a pretty big fan section here tonight, as it's led by Jimmy Sagas, the Indian, and he's gotten people out every game. And let's see if they could do stuff to back the team.
Yeah, I really hope so.
As the Indians are on the field, Portage getting ready to take the field here. As the Indians captains are lined up already for the coin toss. Portage still not out there. Out comes Portage here. And they are met with an arouse of boos from the Lake Central fan section.
I'd say a better start than last game for the fan section.
Yeah. As the captains, Mateo Sedano, number 15, number 74, Samuel Pasovich, Zach Ritt, wearing number 45, and number 7, Caleb Griffin, are lined up, ready to get this coin toss underway and get this game started. And the Portage captains are lined up as well. Zach Warchus, the quarterback, wearing number 7. We've got number 5, Scott Hansen, running back, wide receiver, and free safety for Portage. Number 25, Xavier Alvarez. And finally, number 62, that is Jared Gunning, the O-line and D lineman. Teams meeting in the middle of the field, shaking hands. It's the LC fan section already getting loud there for resident photographer Charles Beard. the coin toss is underway here.
Portage Indians have won the toss and elected to receive. Lake Central will be defending the north end zone.
And it looks like the Lake Central defense will be put to the test right away by Portage as they win the coin toss and take ball first.
Now this defense is really something special for the Indians as, like we said in the pregame, they hold their own against their opponents. It's just the offense can't stay on the field, and let's see if the offense can, sustain a couple drives, keep the defense fresh and healthy. As you heard there, Derek Baldwin getting ready to kick this thing off.
Big cheering from the fan section here as the game is starting.
Kick is underway. And it's going to be out of the back of the end zone. Touchback for the Indians as Portage's offense is getting ready to take the field.
And I think a big piece of the conversation during our pregame here was Zach Warches. He leads the team in total yards per game, and I think he's going to really try and get to work right away here against the Indians.
Leads the team in rushing yards, passing yards, and, combine those two, it equals total.
Yep.
Kick is underway. Out of the back of the end zone. There's a flag already. That's an illegal substitution there for Portage. 5-yard penalty, going to move him back. First and 15 now from the 15-yard line for the Indians. Well, Portage Indians, that is. Portage comes out in the shotgun, man in motion.
Looks like they're going for a run. Number 1.
That's a big play there, and that's
Morton. Looks
a
like it's going to
touchdown.
Be a touchdown on the first play.
Not what you want to see if you're Lake Central off a jet sweep run, and he just, used that quickness and elusiveness. That was number 1, Jacquard Gordon, the sophomore for Portage, and great run by him, but definitely not what you want to happen on the first play of the game.
Nope, it is not what you want at all. But let's see if the defense can, get off the field here in a second, and then the offense can take over, hopefully.
Hopefully the offense can, use this as a bit of a motivation, try to match the points. This extra point is underway, kick is up, and it's good. Number 90, Miguel Verduzco is the kicker there. That's going to be a hard name to say tonight.
Hopefully we don't have to use it very much.
Now, Simon, we saw the big play, first play of the game for the Portage Indians. What do the LC Indians have to do now?
I think the LC Indians, right away, like I said, they have to hammer the passing game. I think if we start getting that done, start getting some big yard plays, then we can just sweep through this game. We can come back from this quick touchdown they got and, do it right back to them.
That's what we're hoping for as Lake Central students. As the LC receiving teams all lined up, all out there. And now out comes the Portage kicking team. After just 14 seconds. 7 points for Portage. After a penalty, too, which is really a huge momentum shift there. As the Indians also coming off of a loss, Portage coming off of a win. So you could say Portage, they've got the momentum coming into this game.
I'd say so. And I would also say their fan section actually is quite well sized, to be honest.
Yeah, for being, farther away than most opponents are. They've definitely got a decent-sized fan section. I'm not sure if our camera picked it up, but after that touchdown, you could see They were throwing a student around up there, looking like a cheer drill.
Looks like the Indians will take it at the 35-yard line.
As if that one had gone out of bounds, that would have been a penalty on Portage, but Lake Central not risking it, taking a Portage bounce and turning it over there. Just going to take the safe catch, get it at about the 35. As out comes the Lake Central offense. Coming out in a shotgun formation, 2 receivers at the top of your screen. 1 isolated at the bottom, that's Curtis Gales. And in motion.
Looks like a sack for Portage.
That was number 25 for Portage, Xavier Alvarez, team captain, just gobbled Sedano up there.
Immediately, but I think they were looking for the fake run first and then the pass to the man who went behind. But I really think that they should be looking for the passing game, like I said.
Yeah, definitely, failed play action or failed read option there. Let's see how Lake Central responds to this. Sedano's going to drop back to pass. Rush is getting there again. Sedano goes down again. Ball comes out. Whistle is blown. Call it a dead ball, and this is going to be 3rd and very long here after 2 straight sacks for Portage. 3rd and 27 to be exact. Not what you want to see if you're the Indians.
And definitely not the way that you want to start off a game, losing momentum immediately. But I think that maybe we can get a long pass in here, and then we could make it right back up.
Definitely got a pass here. Screen play to the running back, Sir Felix Garcia. Throws out a stiff arm and is brought down immediately. No gain on the play. At least nothing meaningful. 4th down and 25 here. So Portage goes 1 and done with their first play, and it's a touchdown. Lake Central goes 3 and out and ends up losing about 15 yards on the series.
An unfortunate series of events to be sure.
And Sedano getting ready to boot this one away. Takes the snap. Kick is off and taking a nice bounce there. As recovered by number 85 Jackson Sarbieski for Lake Central. And Portage is going to get the ball at around the 39-yard line. Let's see if the Lake Central defense can, they just got scored on their first play. They've got to be angry about that. Let's see if they could get after the Portage quarterback now, like Portage got after ours.
I think while the offense was out, Bartolomeo, the LC head coach, probably had quite a chat with the defense, and I think that they'll definitely pick it up from here on out.
Now, Bartolomeo, he primarily handles offense, and that's a great play there. That was number 52 for Lake Central. Carter Schuster, the sophomore linebacker, filling in for Sam Long, who was injured. Getting a nice stop in the backfield, loss of 1. But as I was saying, Bart primarily handles offensive calls and offensive issues, but defensive coordinator Patrick Winters, who a lot of these players love, a lot of the students here at Lake Central love. He's not going to let that slide for the Indians defense, giving up a huge play.
Looks like Portage goes for a run again, gains about maybe a yard, and then goes straight down, which is amazing defense for the Indians. After seeing that first play, it looks like they've bounced back, and they're better than ever.
Jalen Golsholm was the running back there on the carry. Looked like he might have slipped trying to cut it back inside. But benefit to the LC defense, 3rd down and 10 coming up now. As Portage still in the shotgun formation. Worcester rolling out. He's going to look to run, as he will, and not going anywhere. Lake Central's defense had that covered up. Now, I heard from Zach Ritt today from fellow students. Zach Ritt does not want to let this quarterback beat them. You know, Warchus, he's got wheels and he can run, but this Indians defense is set on stopping him. They don't want to be beat by this quarterback. Ritt actually said he's hitting him as much as possible today. He wants to be by the ball whenever that guy's got it.
I definitely agree with that because he's been a big-time player in the other games so far this season. And if we can shut him down, I think we can shut that offense down.
There's a little sidekick there. Takes a bounce. Looks like it was going to stall out, but takes another bounce for Portage. And Indians are going to get the ball at about the 23-yard line here. Nice way for the defense to get off the field there. Hopefully the offense can sustain a drive here. Maybe get a touchdown. Who knows? I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah. If they can rebound as good as the defense just did from their first play, I think that we will do just fine for the rest of the game.
Now this LC team, they're motivated, you know. Football's not been LC's best sport for a while here, and these guys know it, you know. They hear the jokes cracked about them, but I really do think that this LC team does have talent, and it's all just about that execution. And, you know, might not execute at this game, might be later in the season, but I'll tell you, these guys are talented, and they've got potential to, you know, kind of change the laughingstock narrative of the Lake Central football team.
And I think that as the season progresses, that this Indians team will progress just as well as any other team will, you know.
Mm-hmm. Indians are actually ranked last in the 6A division as Sedano throwing for Mayton a little bit high, and Mayton takes a big hit and passes incomplete. Mayton has, you know, we've talked about this before in prior live streams, but Mayton has not played football organized until this year, and he comes in and he's a varsity wide receiver now, starting too. So major props to Ryan Mayton for working hard this offseason, getting himself in shape, and, you know, being a threat on offense.
Looks like they're still running the isolation on the bottom. And we'll see if the quarterback looks to him. No. Looks like incomplete pass and fourth down for the Indians.
That was a rollout play there. Charlie was the target, the senior, and it's not really the best hands, as it was a good play call. You know, got the D lineman trapped on the O line, and just unfortunately Lake Central not able to make the catch there. As the Indians are faced now with a 4th down and 12 with about 6:51 left here. That's the second 3-and-out for this Indians offense. Sedano able to get the punt off, and that one's going to sail a bit. It bounced at the 34-yard line, but, you know, it depends on where it goes out over the field, and refs are going to say it's another punt that's going to be ruled at the 39-yard line for Portage. Could be some good mojo for the Indians defense, as they did force the 3-and-out last time.
Yes. The Indians' defense was truly stellar on when Portage had the ball last, and if they can replicate that, I mean, if they can get that all game, then if our offense can get going, we can win this game. Absolutely.
As it's a run here to number 1. That was, again, Jacquard Gordon, the man who took the first play for a touchdown, as not as lucky as he was the first time. No gain on the play. 2nd down coming up for Portage. Now, the thing with the defense is, yeah, they're a very talented defense. Patrick Winters, an incredible coordinator, but it's hard to sustain, you know, this type of play on defense for a whole game when you're on the field constantly.
That is true, but we will see if the wear and tear really gets to them as the game goes on here. Looks like right now they're powering through.
Got ripped down there. That was number 99, Armand Irving. That's a great play there by Armand Irving. We saw last week Morton running away from him after he was a game wrecker in the Munster game. Just tackle for loss, sack. Seemed like almost every play, and Morton seemed like they had him figured out, just run away from him. But this time, Portage tries that. He comes in from the back and gets the tackle there. Again, no gain. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Lake Central showing blitz, backing off at the last second. Quarterback's going to run with it, and that's going to be close. It's going to depend on where they mark it down. It looks like they're marking it as a 1st down, as they do. Now, that's one of the problems with Portage quarterback Warchus. He's just so quick. I mean, you could see that. And he looked quicker than the play when Portage had that one play touchdown. And that's going to be a big problem for Lake Central here tonight.
But I'm hoping that as the game goes on, they'll get to read this quarterback more, because they really haven't played against a quarterback like this yet.
They have not. It's been mainly, going up against running teams, as number 76 there for Portage. That was Antonio Reese, just taking his man after the play and throwing him down. No penalty on the play, but, coaches always say, play after the whistle, and that's a great example of it there. As we're approaching the 5-minute mark here of the first quarter, 2nd and 6, Portage ball. Portage is up 7-0. Portage staying in the same formation. Fumble on the snap. I think Warchus picked it up there, but that's going to be a loss of yards there. It just looked like he wasn't even ready for it. Just kind of hit him in the chest, and, once it hits you in the chest, you're kind of going to realize, oh, I need to pick this thing up. But 3rd down and 8 now coming up for Portage.
Defense looking for a stop on this play so we can maybe get some momentum going into the offense. Maybe even push for a touchdown or even a kick.
Absolutely. Lake Central got shut out last week after putting up 37 against Munster. That's a 37-point difference is huge, and to put up any points today early, that's going to be a big feel-good moment for Lake Central, as depends where they're going to mark the ball here. I think this is going to be short. 4th down and 1, it is ruled, following the out route to the wide receiver. It's going to be interesting, Simon, to see if Portage decides to go for it here or not.
I think seeing how this Indians offense has started out this game, that they might have a good chance of going for it here.
Especially, this is 4th down territory. It's not really far enough to punt, as it is a run. Portage is going to pick it up there. That was Warchus yet again on the read option.
And it is a 1st down for Portage.
So that was number 45, Zach Rangel, and on the tackle there. As Portage gets a fresh set of downs here, approaching the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Drop back. Gonna look to run with it. Stumbles a bit and goes down. Now this Indians defense has not let Zach Warchus, get the best of him, but he's gotten a couple small sneaky plays off, and, those small plays, they're going to add up in the long haul. The quick, quick passes, quick runs that are good for about, 3 to 4 yards, that's going to do damage on a defense. It's going to wear that defense down, and, as a LC fan, that's one of the things you can't be looking forward to. As a Portage fan, it's great for them.
But I think the LC defense is doing a great job of shutting down the pass options right now.
So that's another run up the middle, as running back is swarmed there. That was number 26 on the carry, Isaac Alvarez. My apologies. Isaac Hegwood. Also running back, outside linebacker, and cornerback for this Portage team.
Approaching 3rd and 4 now.
Got to look for Warches to run here, as instead they throw the quick slant. That was number 3, Tylee Swoops on the catch. Quarterback, wide receiver, and free safety for this Portage team. So Portage has got versatility on both sides of the ball. You know, they've got defensive end and tight end hybrids, wide receiver, cornerback hybrids, running back, free safety hybrids, outside linebacker, tight end hybrids. You know, and all the guys mentioned before. There's a lot of versatility, and they've got a lot of players, too, on this Portage team.
Which I think it helps them as the game goes on because they can just keep subbing in more people in different positions.
Absolutely. It's going to, you know, keep players fresh, not let them, you know, get drained out too early. It's going to help them in the long haul. So there's a sideline warning on Portage, I believe. On Lake Central, my apologies, as again a big run for Isaac Hegwood, as that's a touchdown. Portage takes a 2-score lead here, as that's gotta hurt Lake Central. So that was a big run, you know, ran up the middle, bounced outside for Hegwood. Great run there, but that's gonna do a number on LC's confidence.
I think so, especially because both touchdowns in a row have been running plays, and I think that's what we were looking to stop this week. But
yeah, especially with this, you know, D-line. They've been praised by me, by other students. You know, they're big on that line, and they're able to, you know, they're able to get after the quarterback as Portage misses the extra point there. 13-0, Portage still on top.
And we'll see what the Indians can do with about a minute 50 left in the quarter.
Luckily, it's not halftime yet, so who knows, maybe Lake Central could build something up before halftime. As the receiving team all set up out there. Portage kicking team getting a bit of a talk from their coaches. Let's see if they might try a little onside kick again. If they get that and go up 3 scores here in the first quarter, it's going to be hard to see Lake Central coming back from that. And I know it's early, but it's going to be hard to come back from down 3 scores.
And I know last game against Morton, it was a very slow process to get some touchdowns on LC, most of them coming in the second half, if not all of them. But Portage is just coming out strong, bringing in the touchdowns, made the first extra point, missed the second, but they're still up by 13. And possibly looking for the onside kick so that they can even put themselves up more.
We saw them attempt the onside kick earlier, and let's see if we'll see it again. But back to the Morton game. You know, it was a slow start for both teams. You know, like we said, LC got blanked as it's not an onside kick, just a regular kickoff. That one's going to go back into the end zone, and that's a touchback. But, you know, we saw Morton just kind of wear that Lake Central defense down, beat him up a little bit. Beat him with quick plays, and then it just took off. Everything opened up for Portage once that LC defense got tired. As Lake Central needs to score some points here.
Looks like there are 2 wide receivers playing isolated against the defense right now.
As it's a big run here for Max Kreisbaum. Kreisbaum down the sidelines, gets past the 50. So that's a huge run, huge momentum boost, huge confidence boost there for Lake Central.
And you can see in the student section right now, it just erupted the second he got away.
You could see the players too, all, you know, running down, looking like their spirits got lifted up a bit. Max Kreisbaum, he kind of got, you know, he didn't have the best game last week, but that Munster game, he took off. He was a key to the Lake Central offense in that game.
Hopefully we can see him really take off for the rest of this game as he gets some big yards just now and big momentum going.
It's first down and 10 on the 44. First time Lake Central's been past the 50 this game. first down Lake Central's picked up this game too, as Kreisbaum is met there at the line of scrimmage. Not going to get anything on that play. Swarmed by the D-line. Now, Simon, if it was me, I'd keep pounding the rock. Try to wear this Portage defense down a bit. But, don't be afraid to take a shot downfield. Call a play-action rollout. Get Mateo Sedano on his feet, on the move. It's definitely he's got legs. He can run. And, if you get Portage to sell out to the run, then you could beat him over the top.
You do really have to give it to this Portage D-line, though, as they have been just attacking the Indians and trying to get back to that quarterback, as we can see here. And the pass looks like it'll be good for about 10 yards and possibly pick up the first down here for the Indians.
That was the
Lake Central
play-action rollout that I was just talking about. That was Diego Garcia was the wide receiver there, as Lake Central is going to pick up another first down. Looks like they got something going here on this drive.
And that's all they need, just the momentum of the game. It seems like once they have the momentum, they can just run with it here. Looks like there's about 40 seconds left in the quarter, and let's see what they can do.
Lake Central's only got about 14 left on the clock. Keeps dwindling down. They got to get another play off here. Can't just let this one ride into the quarter. Sedano looking to throw. Going to roll out on the move now. Not going to get anything. 2nd and 10 will be coming up after this first quarter, as it's hard to see Lake Central not letting this one drain. As that they will. All fronts grouping up. Clock keeps ticking. Past 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the end of the first quarter. Portage 13, Lake Central 0.
What's up, Lake Central? I'm Yusuf Namari.
I'm Riley Nestrict. And I'm Mia Martinez. And we're your social media editors.
We manage 4 accounts for the high school: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook.
We cover things such as sporting events, pep rallies, clubs, and concerts.
Make sure to follow us on all our accounts. We'll see you around, Elsie.
And that was a little message from our social media team here at Lake Central. Just kind of plug in all our social medias, our Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, our YouTube, which our viewers obviously know about as they are watching on here. Let's get back to football. Lake Central, 2nd down and 11 here on the 35-yard line at the start of the second quarter. Snap goes over Sedano's shoulder, able to catch it. Looking to run, he shakes the defenders, and he picks up the first down. That was a freak play there, Simon.
Looks like they're spotting it at about the 20-yard line, and looks like Lake Central has just come right back out with that same momentum that they ended the first quarter with. And if they can keep this going, I mean, they can get this touchdown and maybe get a quick stop on the defense and go for a second touchdown to tie or take the lead of the game.
That was a crazy play there. Normally when the snap goes over the quarterback's head, it's get the ball, fall on top of it. Sedano able to catch it before it even touched the ground and shook a couple defenders in the process, as Sir Felix Garcia receives the handoff here and going to pick up about 1 maybe. Picks up 2, 2nd down and 8 coming up. Now, Simon, this LC offense is moving great. They got to keep this up. And, the big question, you think they're going to score here?
I definitely think so. I mean, I was thinking that they had to hammer the passing game, but it looks like the run game is working out quite well for them. And, I mean, if they just keep putting it down that way or even do a play action, that could be perfect.
The run game's the flashy stuff, See the NFL. You always see the flashy throws as Garcia breaks through and gets in for the touchdown. Indians get on the board for the first time since the Munster game. So that's a great run there by Garcia, as he just looked like he got wrapped up there and was able to break through. But as I was saying, passes are flashy. Runs, though, that's going to open up so much more. If you could get Portage to sell out to the run, that's going to open up the airways. That's going to have him selling out to running backs. He could run some trick plays with the wide receivers, with quarterback scrambles.
And it looked like Garcia just powered through that front line. And when one man was on him, he just threw him to the side and kept going.
That was a great run there by Sir Felix Garcia, as extra point is up, and it's good. Lake Central 7, Portage 13.
And it looks like as Lake Central has the momentum, there could be a big comeback here.
As this Lake Central fan section definitely getting excited about that. Same with the players too. You could tell they're all a little bit excited down there. As we see the offense grouping up, high-fiving each other, talking it out, trying to get out there, do the same thing again.
The energy is definitely much different now than it was at the beginning of the game.
As Baldwin, after making the extra point, getting ready to kick this thing off here. As kick is underway, as that one's going to drop it about the 20 as Portage fumbled. Lake Central thinks they've got it. This would be huge here. After Portage muffed the kick return. As Portage did end up recovering it, but definitely made my heart stop a little bit as we got that confidence back.
And I think even though we didn't recover it there, I think it still gave us a huge momentum boost and a huge energy boost for the Lake Central Indians. And I think this defense is just going to get a quick stop here, and then the offense is going to power through once again and get that touchdown and take the lead.
Now, Indians definitely have to contain Zach Werchus here, as, he's been the primary offense for Portage, aside from that one big play. And speaking of the big play, run the exact same jet sweep option. This time it was number 11, Mason Howell, wide receiver free safety.
Looks like he gains about 1 yard and then is taken down.
2nd down and 9 now at the 26-yard line. Approaching the 10-minute mark here in the half. There's a little bit of a confusion out there. Nobody set yet. Still nobody set out there on the field, as Portage calls timeout. After a little bit of confusion, not sure if Portage just didn't get the play call there. Couldn't understand coach. But Lake Central, they've got to be feeling confident about that one now too. Getting Portage to force the timeout. As we're having a bit of technical difficulties here, we're going to take a short break. We'll fill you in after, but we got to do some quick testing, and we will be right back. As welcome back. Hopefully our technical difficulties are resolved there. As didn't miss a single play, as Portage did end up calling a timeout. 3rd down and 5 now for Portage coming up. Got very fortunate with the timing of our technical difficulty there, as didn't miss any game time. So got to be gracious about that.
Looks like 1st and 10, they mark it as a 1st down for Portage, but hopefully the LC defense can get a stop here.
As 3rd down and 5 was on the scoreboard. Not sure if it was a problem with, communication between the refs or marking of the spot. But Warchus running up the middle now off the read option. As both teams, Portage pushing him forward, Lake Central trying to push him back. Finally, whistles blown. 2nd down and 4 here for Portage. Portage at the 41-yard line, trying to get over the 50-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be spotted 2nd and 4. 9 minutes left in the quarter here.
As today we also do have the Tri-Town Raiders, the Little Pop Warner League here at the burial grounds, coming in to watch some football. It's Lake Central showing billets, backing off. Run up the middle. That's going to be good enough for what appears to be a 1st down. Is again just a tug of war with the running back. That's gain of 4 there. 1st and 10 for Lake Central.
Looks like Portage right now is just slowly picking away at this Lake Central defense, just getting small runs out to try and push forward to get those 1st downs.
So that's the key to a great offense. Anywhere you go, you see it in high school, you see it in college, you see it in the NFL. Should we bring up the Canadian League, the failed Alliance of American Football League? But, that's a #1 way to chip away at a defense, break them down, wear them out, hopefully get something over the top.
Looks like Portage goes for the run.
There's a nice hurdle there by number 26, Isaac Hegwood, who had that touchdown run for Portage earlier. But got wrapped up. 2nd down and 7 here. Jalen Wigley on the tackle there. As Portage looking over to the coach. Trying to get set. Play clock dwindling down. As Portage gets set. Shotgun snap. So that's Hegwood again. Hegwood picking up the 1st down there for Portage.
Well, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it looks like Portage is just going to keep running here and see how many yards they can really get.
If I'm the Lake Central Indians defense, keep forgetting that we got 2 Indians playing tonight. But if I'm the LC defense, I'm not selling out to the run. Definitely playing closer to the line of scrimmage, but you got to be careful of that outside run. You got to be careful of the play action over the top too, as number 27 for Portage now. That was Jalen Golson on the carry. Picks up about 1. 2nd down and 9 coming up now. As Indians sideline, Portage sideline, both communicating with their respective teams. It's a run up the middle with that was number 7, Zach Warchus there on the carry. Lake Central was ready for it. 3rd and 6 to go here on the 38-yard line for Portage.
And if I were the Lake Central defense here, I would just be looking straight for the run. Portage hasn't done much passing, and they've just, for the last 40 yards, they've just been running. So I think that's what they should really look to stop here.
As the Indians fan section getting loud here, trying to throw Portage off balance. Got to be careful, watch out for the slant routes here too. As there it is, batted down by Armand Irving. Great play there by Irving. And I wish we had replay up here because I would watch that again and again and again. And they were going for the slant route there too, but Irving, he's 6'2", 275 as he's listed on the roster, and he's athletic for his size too, being able to get up there, slap that ball down. Definitely a great play. Hegwood almost made the catch, though, after it was batted down. So we got 6:50 left here. Portage looking to go for it. It's 4 down territory, 4th and 6 to go. And
Looks like a Portage timeout is called.
Portage may be rethinking their decision there. As Armand Irving doing a little dance back to the sidelines after that huge play there. As the talk it over chants start ringing in from the Indians fan section. Now it's going to be interesting to see, is Portage going to come out again, try to go for it on 4th down, or are they going to, boot it away? It's like we said earlier, it's kind of 4th down territory, It's too far for a field goal. It's too close for a punt. They got a good distance between the 1st down marker at about 6 yards.
I think they're definitely going to go for it here because I think that they're not scared of the Lake Central Indian offense, but they could be underestimating the Lake Central offense because of what we saw in that last run.
As out comes the Portage offense and the shotgun excuse me, his name's getting pretty hard to pronounce the more we pronounce it, but Zach Warchus as play action to the wide receiver. Going deep, overthrows his man. Intended target there was number 5 for Portage, Scott Hansen. Looked like he had to step on his man, but just a slight overthrow there by excuse me, give me some time here. Zach Warchus.
And it looks like the Lake Central coaches and the entire team is just ecstatic about that as the offense goes right back out, and we'll see if they can get some yardage here.
Yeah, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Armand Irving with a huge play there to bat that ball down. Great play. As Sedano rolling out now. Looking for a man. He's got Nichol. My apologies. That was Jackson Sarbieski there.
Perfectly executed play there. Worked amazingly and gets them the 1st down.
So that's a Lake Central 1st down, Simon. Always good to hear that over the PA when you're in the stadium. As timeout there by Lake Central. Not sure what the coaches saw there, but clearly they did not like it as they called the timeout before anyone could even get set. Almost right after they broke huddle. As Lake Central knocked it over. Out comes the offense yet again, led by Mateo Sedano, Sir Felix Garcia, and Curtis Gales. Now someone who we've seen a lot this game that we haven't really seen in previous games, number 11, wide receiver for Lake Central, Diego Garcia. There's 2 safeties over the top there. As Garcia with a run, stretching as far as he could, but could not get away from the tackle there. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Yeah, Sedano getting his offense in check. You got to think that run worked wonders for Lake Central. The runs, the rollouts, the play actions, all that. It worked wonders for Lake Central on that last drive, and you got to expect that again. If it's not, like you said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As here comes the rollout.
Looks like a flag called on the play.
And Sedano not picking up too much there. That was as penalty is on. Well, we're going to have to wait and see as the refs talk it over yet again.
But back to what we were saying, I love to see them attempting to feed Garcia after he just made a big run for them. I love to see them just going back to what they know and not trying anything too new here for the Lake Central Indians.
Definitely deserves it there after that beautiful run there. Just slipped through the cracks of the defense, found all the right places to go.
Perfectly executed.
As the flag is picked up, no penalty. As 3rd down and 11 here for Lake Central. Now you can't be thinking run here as, Portage has kind of bottled up to run this drive, but, maybe a quick draw play as Lake Central. Sedano drops back to pass. Sedano going to take off running with it. Sedano gets leveled there. That was Hedgewood again. Like we said, he plays outside linebacker and cornerback. In addition to wide receiver, first play we've seen him make on defense. Bringing up a 4th down and 2. As Lake Central's offense. Looks like they're going to go for it here. But Sedano took a big hit there, Simon. I'm not sure if you saw that, but that's not the type of hit you want a quarterback to take.
Looks like they're going for the run. Garcia gets out.
Garcia throws a man.
Throws a man.
Garcia
gets to the end zone
again
for the touchdown. Wow, what a play.
Felix Garcia. 2 incredible runs here.
He is taking over the offense for the Indians here.
As this Indians team is exonerated. They are excited.
Absolutely ecstatic here at the burial grounds.
How many more words can we say that start with E? Energized. Look at the student section. They're elevated right now. As Derek Baldwin comes out for the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good.
It's
Lake Central Indians take the lead here. This place is loud.
Garcia just slipping through the line, throwing down people trying to get at him.
Looked like Marshawn Lynch there. Just, stiff arm, juke, truck him. It doesn't matter. So Sir Felix Garcia was able to do all of it.
Looked like he got away from 5 different guys there.
There's now 14 unanswered points for Portage. We kind of saw this a bit in the Munster game. Munster ended up scoring first, then ended up giving up 37 unanswered points to the Indians.
Hopefully we can see 37 points for the Indians this game.
There's 4:37 left in the half. Portage, they're going to try to score before halftime. Hopefully take a lead into half. But this LC defense, they're fired up, and I can't see them letting it happen. Armand Irving was on the sideline celebrating it's a bit of a squib kick there. Fielded it at about the 19-yard line. As Portage brings it up to around the 32, 33-yard line. So there's an LC player slow to get up. Gets up under his own power, able to walk off to the sidelines.
We've seen a lot of runs from this Portage offense here. Do you think that's what the LC defense is trying to shut down?
Absolutely. High school ball, if you got somebody who could throw, you're set. But a lot of teams don't have that perfect quarterback for high school. So a lot of teams are going to resort to the run. It's a lot, less risky. You don't have to worry about interceptions, overthrows, any of that stuff. Bad snap there. Armand Irving chasing the quarterback as Armand Irving brings down the quarterback. That's going to be a huge loss there after the errant snap. That one's going to be marked down at the 14-yard line as Portage is really going to have to dig themselves out now. As they're faced with a long second down here. Second down and 30. As Armand Irving, you got to keep an eye on this guy. He's been just absolutely wrecking this game. And he's in the middle of the line, too. So, you know, if they double team him, they could pass him off from a center to a left guard, right guard, all of that. They aren't able to stop him as Washer takes off running and takes a big hit, but stayed on his feet there. As Portage now faced with third down and long coming up. 3rd and 14 to be exact.
If the Lake Central defense can get a stop here and make it 4th and 14, then I think we'll definitely see a quick punt from Portage and maybe a return for points for Lake Central.
If Lake Central can score again before halftime, that is huge for the momentum. They'll bring it into the locker room. You know, they'll be able to game plan more, see what they did right. Pass is batted away there. Dropped pick there for number 52, Carter Schuster. But still, another huge batted pass for the Indians defense as, you know, that's going to take off the Portage offense, take them off the field, bring out the punting unit as, yeah, you wish you had the pick, but you can't complain about a batted pass on 3rd down either.
That is very true. And we'll see if we can get a big return here. That would be very nice for the Indians. If we could even just get it to the 50-yard line, that would be perfect.
As side kick, untraditional kick, but it works as Garcia shakes a man again. Garcia tiptoeing down the sideline, brings it past the 50. Around the 40-yard line, Garcia having a game tonight.
Looks like I can see Sam Long from here absolutely riling up this Lake Central team.
Zach Ritt getting the Lake Central Indian fan section hyped up too as Coach Patrick Winters, you can see he's got a little smile on down there talking to the defense. Garcia's having a huge game right now. He just seems untackleable.
He is playing phenomenally right now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to him for this play.
I don't know if he bathed in butter before the game, but he is slipping past everything. As Sedano now getting a little shaky out there.
Looked like a little confusion between the Lake Central players there as Sedano ran into one of the linemen almost.
So that's a Lake Central first down there. Sedano, you know, just following his blockers. Might have outran his blockers a little bit, but still, as long as you could keep somebody in front of you, you're going to pick up yards in this game, and that's what Lake Central is trying to do here.
And it was successful enough for the first down. Looking at about 30 yards until the end zone.
As Jared Ivey on the sidelines getting people hyped up. Garcia again running a man over. That's another big pickup for Sir Felix Garcia. 2nd down and 1 coming up. As Indians looking to get another score here. That'll be 3 unanswered scores. As Indians talking it over. Both of them. Sedano comes out in shotgun. Garcia still back in the backfield. Gills isolated out wide to the bottom of your screen. Read option. Garcia bouncing it out. Garcia picks up the first down and then some. That's going to be close to within inside the 10. So that's marked at the 11. So LC's got a first down remaining on this field if they, you know, get close enough to the end zone. But LC's smelling that end zone right now as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Looks like Garcia comes out for Max Kriesbaum.
Now, Kriesbaum, we saw him too. He was really the one that started these big runs. As Kriesbaum gets dragged down there, as Kriesbaum didn't even have the ball. Sedano had it. Fooled me, fooled our camera, fooled Portage, but no gain on the play as clock keeps ticking, approaching the minute 30 mark. And timeout is called exactly at the minute 30 mark.
I think the Indians here are really just building off of that momentum that they built with those other 2 touchdowns that have been unanswered by Portage. And they really just keep hammering the run game, keep giving it to Garcia, to Creasbaum, and they just want to keep getting out to the side and just getting those 10 yards, 15 yards, and that's bringing them to the end zone.
As Lake Central's offense taking the field here. Creasbaum still the featured back, giving Sir Felix Garcia some rest here.
It looks like Lake Central may be looking down the sideline for one of their wide receivers.
As Portage does have the box stacked, so it'll be pretty hard to run against this front as Sedano takes the snap. Throwing over the middle, dropped by Jackson Sarbieski. Just had it at his fingertips, but you know, it's very hard to catch in the middle of a field. You know, you got that feeling of guys coming from behind you, trying to strip the ball out from you. You got a guy coming running right at you, you know, head first, trying to hit you, and you know, it's a little bit mental, a little bit just a tough catch. As Creasbaum still in the backfield here as Lake Central facing a 3rd and 9. Sedano drops back, looking, lost it up. Incomplete there. Looked like Portage had it. But 4th down and 9, out comes the kicking unit. Sedano definitely caught a break there as he just lofted that up into, what would you say, quadruple coverage?
Yeah, he was really getting rushed by that defensive line. But I think that Lake Central should have even gone for it here because they're up by 1. So if Portage, you know, brings it downfield and tries to get a touchdown, they'd still be up if they went for the touchdown and got it. But it looks like the kick is good for the Lake Central Indians.
I would say that, but, you know, with going into halftime, you know, you got to worry about keeping that confidence level up. And if they went for it on 4th down and didn't get it, say something worse happens and they throw an interception, that confidence is gone. So, you know, being able to get down there, get some points on the board, that's huge for Lake Central, especially going into the half, with only about 1:14 left remaining here.
Very true, but I think it was also possibly a questionable decision to take Garcia out towards the end there. I think they maybe even could have kept him in for just 1 or 2 more plays and tried to get some yards.
I can definitely agree with you on that one as, yeah, you know, you want to keep him fresh, you know, let him build up his stamina a bit, but, you know, I thought at least for 3rd down he would come in. You know, as a last-ditch effort to the end zone, but coaches decided just let him rest. We'll hopefully take this lead into half. Up by 4 now, barring any major Portage play. But this Indians offense really picked it up here. The defense really picked it up here. As the Lake Central Indians fan section getting loud here. This Portage's fan section looks like it grew a bit. They fixed the flag. It used to be backwards.
Here comes the kick.
Booming kick there. Fielded by Hegwood. Hegwood gonna bring it up, bounce it outside past the 30. 35, not able to get, well, gets past the 40. Nice return there for Portage. Took a lot of LC people to bring him down.
Very good return by Hegwood. But I think that once we bring this LC defense right back out, it'll be same thing over again. Just stop after stop after stop.
That's what we're hoping to see is this game's been fought in the trenches lately. You know, LC's O-line pushing back Portage's D-line. LC's D-line getting to the quarterback with a vengeance. Definitely seeming like the tides have shifted in this game. As we've got a beautiful night here for football. As Worcester looking to throws it deep. overthrows his man again. That was almost an identical play to that first overthrow we saw. So that was number 3, Ty Lee Swoops, the intended receiver. I could be mistaken, but is that the second pass of the game for Portage? They've been very run heavy here.
They have been, especially with that quarterback that they have, Zach Warchus. He's been very mobile during this game, along with their running back, number 26, Isaac Hegwood. And under about a minute in the half here, looks like Portage going for a run, brought down at about the 45.
As clock keeps on ticking, approaching the 40-second mark. Portage is going to have enough time for at least one play, depending on if they hurry up. 3rd down and 7 here. Not seeming to be urgent at all.
Approaching the 25-second mark.
Takes the snap. Looking to throw on the run. Another incomplete pass. 16 seconds left. 4th down and 7. Indians are going to potentially get the ball back.
Which could be big if we see another breakaway play like we saw Portage start off the game with. Maybe hand Garcia the ball and just try and let him run with it here.
You've definitely got to be looking for Garcia if you're the Indians here. As Portage will kick it off. Lake Central's defensive unit still out there. Caleb Griffin is the return man back there. It's going to be interesting to see if he tries to return it or if he just lets it go and the Indians take this lead into half. Clock dwindling down. Delay of game on Portage. As that's going to push Portage back now. 4th down and 12. Caleb Griffin still the return man. A little disappointed it's not Sir Felix Garcia, but it's going to be...
Seems like they're trying to rest him before the half here.
Yeah, if you could get him going like he did in the second half, if you could get him going again like that, that'll be huge as ball is called dead at around the 23-yard line. 2.4 seconds remain. Is LC just going to kneel it out? Are they going to take a shot deep? Are they going to try to hit Garcia? Who knows? As Garcia is coming out leading the Lake Central offense. But they come out in a heavy set with a fullback and Garcia. Sedano under center. This is going to be a knee. As there's the knee. We're going to show that social media video one more time for our new viewers. And we will be back after the half.
What's up, Lake Central? I'm Yusuf Kamari.
I'm Riley Nestricht.
And I'm Mia Martinez.
And we're your social media editors.
We manage 4 accounts for the high school: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook.
We cover things such as sporting events, pep rallies, clubs, and concerts.
Make sure to follow us on all our accounts. And we'll see you around, Elsie.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after that halftime performance by the Indians. We've got about, the clock's dwindling down after the stretches as Lake Central will receive the ball here to start the first half.
The second half.
Second half. My apologies. But we've got a close game, and I was down in the student section, Simon, and these kids are excited. I was asking people, I was like, hey, are you going anywhere after the game? And they're like, yeah, but we're staying for the whole game. Like, people don't intend to leave, which is a great thing to see tonight. After, if a team does bad, the student section's probably cut in half by halftime. And to have these kids saying, we're not going anywhere, we're staying right here, that's incredible, especially for, Lake Central fans when, I know we leave a little bit early.
I'm definitely glad to see that we have improved from last game, and I'm glad to see that they weren't discouraged after those first 13 points put up on the board by Portage, and that they at least stayed and had hope that we would come back, and we did.
Absolutely. This Indians football team really, I feel like they used that 13 points. They used it as motivation, They got goose-egged, 20-0 last week. They hadn't scored a touchdown, and they were down 13-0. That's a week without a touchdown, and these guys want a touchdown. As fan section's getting crazy down there, football team's getting crazy with them, Armand Irving's getting them hyped up. Just take a look down there as it's going insane down there right now. This fan section is alive and well.
And it looks like the Portage team and cheer team are trying to fight just the crowd that we have out here, but it's just not working for them.
Yeah, not going to help as Jalen Wigley muffs the punt there. But Max Creasbaum, he's got a crease in the defense, and he gets to about the 26-yard line.
A solid start for the return there, and hopefully we can push forward this half as we did last half with the run game.
Absolutely. That run game was huge. And then, like we said, it opened up passing plays. It opened up play actions and, rollouts and all that. Because the Portage team was just selling out to the run with the running back. And that's really when this LC offense started to take off as the "We Are LC" chant begins. And it ends perfectly on the third one there. Wide receiver in motion for LC. Creasbaum takes the carry. Creasbaum gets a nice gain.
Looks like a gain of about 7 there for Creasbaum, and pushing forward as the second half begins.
Lake Central's got to stay on that gas pedal today. And that's, as evident in that Munster game, that doesn't seem to be a problem for this team as they just kept piling it on Munster. But, it's all about keeping these guys healthy, keeping them fresh. And the longer you could keep your guys fresh, if you can keep somebody, feeling good for longer than your opponent can, you're going to have the advantage 100% of the time. It doesn't matter the initial skill point. As Creasbaum with another big run there, just throwing a stiff arm right into a Portage defender, and finally gets pushed out of bounds. But after picking up the first down, Lake Central first down at the 43-yard line.
And it looks like they're trying to keep Creasbaum in the second half here so that they can even save Garcia if they need him later. But Creasbaum seems to be getting along just fine now, much better than the first half.
Absolutely. Creasbaum, he had that big run, and then he kind of disappeared, was getting shut down, with all his runs. And now he's playing hot. Just play the hot hand with Lake Central as Creasbaum again gets to the outside past the 50-yard line.
Looks like a gain of about 7 or 8 there. And it looks like Creasbaum is really taking care of it for the Indians as they're just pushing forward 7, 8 yards after 7, 8 yards.
That is exactly what I was about to say, but Creasbaum comes off, walking a little bit gingerly towards the sideline. Sir Felix Garcia comes in. Creasbaum took a pretty bad hit there, but hopefully it's all okay. He was able to get up under his own power and get to the Lake Central sideline. As a Mayton single receiver at the bottom of your screen. Gill's on top. Read option there with Garcia. Garcia finds the hole. Just slithers through, slithering around his O-lineman, and fumble. Portage ball.
And that is a big momentum killer there for Lake Central. But if the defense can come out here and get a stop, I think that we can still just push through and get a quick touchdown at the beginning of the second half.
I mean, that play seemed kind of over, and then next thing I know, there's the Portage players signaling it's their ball. You know, we don't really have the best viewpoint from up here. You know, the refs, they can't look at replays, but if they could, I definitely think that would be worth taking a look at.
It looked like he stopped gaining yards for a couple seconds there, and I thought they were going to call it a day, but they did not, and fumble, and it's now Portage ball.
Yeah, there was just such a big crowd of people around there. You couldn't see the ball from our viewpoint, so. Oh well, let bygones be bygones. Pretty much like Portage just received the kickoff and had a nice little drive there.
Looked like about a 4-yard gain for the quarterback, Zach Worches.
Portage has really struggled in the air, but he has been phenomenal on the ground for this Portage team, as it's just evident by his pure speed. You know, a read option, you got to watch the running back, you got to watch the running back, you got to watch the quarterback. As we've got a Portage player down there. As Lake Central taking a knee here. As all of Lake Central Indians team taking a knee right now. We're wishing the best luck to this player. Not sure who it is. That's number 99, Danny Poplava. Able to get up and walk off with his trainer's help. But, you know, definitely something you don't want to see in a high school game, college game, professional game, any game. You know, it's always tough to see a young athlete go down with injury. Doesn't matter the sport. Just football is, you know, one of the violent sports, and unfortunately that's how it is.
Looks like they did get him to the sideline, though, and hopefully he can recover soon and come back out.
Absolutely. We here at Lake Central are, you know, definitely wishing him the best. As
looks like Workus drops the snap.
As Indians think they've got it, as they do. Armand Irving comes up with it. Mateo Sedano running over to the ref, giving him the offensive ball.
Amazing change of pace here. The momentum has switched twice in the matter of a minute here, as 2 fumbles have gone down.
As we've got another player down now for Portage. As the Indians are very excited, getting the team pumped up, but I think they're a little bit distracted by that great play, and unfortunately they have not noticed the injured player yet, but again, an unfortunate injury. It doesn't matter which team. You do not want to see that, as this time it was number 11, Mason Howell, or Hollowell, and he's able to get up, walk off the field with help from his trainers. Like Central trainers also walking back, but Lake Central's going to get the ball here. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. 9 minutes, 40 seconds.
Well, let's see if Lake Central here can extend their lead, currently a 4-point lead, hopefully making it an 11-point lead soon. We'll see. It looks like they're going for the run.
Garcia throwing men off of him. Picks up about 1 or 2 yards there. Fought hard for those 1 or 2 yards, though.
And the more that he fights, the more that that defense just gets worn down with every play.
Absolutely. You know, the hard guys to tackle, it's going to be, you know, you're putting everything out on the line to make a tackle for a guy who's only picking up 2 yards, but he's throwing off half your team. And that's wearing you down. You know, definitely something that Lake Central's offense has to be pretty happy about. As Curtis Gills, single receiver at the top of your screen. Now number 11 in motion. Garcia on the run. Flag comes in. Let's see what this flag is. And refs talking it over. We've already seen one penalty flag picked up today, but not going to see this one as it looks to be on Lake Central here. Penalty was declined, however, bringing up, excuse me, a 3rd down and 8 here.
Well, Lake Central with a 3rd and 9 here. Let's see if they can come up with something big. Looks like it's been 2 runs in a row that have been stopped 1 or 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9 actually coming up as looked like the defense jumped a little bit. Sedano taking off to run with it. Sedano
Looks like he gets the first down.
might be about a yard short. He got lucky with the tackle, however, as you're not down until you touch the ground. And yeah, he went down, but he rolled over a couple Portage defenders there. Sedano doing what he could for that first down as this looks like 4th down territory, and it's a 4th down and 2 on the 34-yard line. Like we've been saying, too far for a field goal. This would be a 51-yard field goal. A little too close for a punt.
I could easily see them looking for Garcia again just to throw down a couple guys and try and get that 1 or 2 yards that they need.
I could see a screen pass, but Lake Central instead calls a timeout. Did not like what they saw, as they're going to talk it over here. Now we saw Portage do this, and it ended up with receiver being overthrown, who had to step on his man. Maybe we could see a screen pass, because you have to believe Portage is going to sell out to this run. They're sending extra men. They're going to blitz. But the best combat to a blitz is a quick pass that's, just going to let the receiver get it and run. And the best way to do that is a screen pass to Sir Felix Garcia, I feel. Just have him slip out. He can catch it and just get some yards with all the lack of the people who are in front of him, since they're all going to be behind him by the time he gets the pass. But I'm not a coach.
I could even see a fake handoff here, and maybe the quarterback here will take it in for us for those 1 or 2 yards.
Absolutely. Definitely got to keep an eye on the read option here for Lake Central. 8:05 left in the quarter. Sedano hands it off to Garcia as Garcia picks it up. That's going to be good enough for an LC first down.
Again, perfect execution from Garcia. They hand in the ball. He gets the 4, even 5 yards and gets them that first down.
Yeah, Garcia has not been stopped at the first down marker yet. He's went past it, whether it's a little, like we saw right there, or a lot, like we saw in those 2 TD runs. He's been able to get, a good chunky yardage here.
And if he pulls something big out here, we could be able to see a touchdown, or maybe even a long pass for a touchdown.
As that passes to Curtis Gills on the outside on the curl route, picks up about 8. That's going to be second down and 3 coming up. It was a 7-yard pass. Or second down and 2. A little bit of a miscommunication between our scoreboard and our PA. Now the Indians offense definitely looking to get it cooking here. They've stayed in the shotgun formation this whole night. Shotgun pistol. As Garcia again, he had a man on him, and then next thing you know, he's got that guy by the ankle, and he's still dragging him a bit. Garcia's definitely been working on something, and he's been doing really good tonight.
He's been a key player, I'd say, in this offense tonight.
So out comes the change of pace back with Max Kriesbaum here.
Which I like to see. Kriesbaum was doing very well at the start of this quarter. And we'll see if he can continue that momentum that he had earlier.
Max Kriesbaum, only a sophomore, but he's been able to do a lot for this Lake Central offense. As sliding through. The nice gain there. That's going to be a gain of 4, bringing up a 2nd down and 6 here.
Looks like the Indians are about 12 or 13 yards from the end zone here. Maybe looking for a pass to one of their wide receivers.
As Danny Nykel checks in, going to be playing in the slot there. Subbed in for number 11, Diego Garcia. Nykel in motion coming across. As Sedano on the keeper. Sedano takes a big hit there on the sideline. Now, Portage has been getting some pretty big hits off on Sedano. But, Sedano's a tough guy. He doesn't seem to care that much. If he gets yards, he's okay with it. As 3rd down and 3 coming up. We're within field goal range now, but, you got to expect these fans and this team to not want to settle for a field goal. They want a touchdown. They want to go crazy in the fan section. And Kreisbaum looks like he picks up the 1st down there. 1st and goal coming up. That's all the way down to the 5-yard line. Lake Central, 3 chances to gain 5 yards here.
LC really putting the pressure on, just coming out strong this half, just running it down the whole field, getting a couple good passes in, and now they're 5 yards from the end zone.
As Lake Central staying in the pistol formation. Portage showing blitz, they do. Sedano rolling out, throwing, receiver makes the catch. As we've got an LC player down now. Excuse me, that was number 42, Gerard Charlie, who's down, and that does not look good there. He's grabbing that leg, and not what you want to see. We've got 3 injuries tonight, I believe, and
all in this 3rd quarter as well.
Yeah, that's not at all what you want to see in a high school football game.
But hopefully we can see, after we get back on the field here, hopefully we can see a quick touchdown for Lake Central to really just boost the morale of everyone again.
Now, we also had another injury during the day today. Lake Central had a active school shooting drill today, and in the act of, barricading the classes, defensive lineman Quincy Fleming injured himself, and he's been out tonight too. For anyone who saw the nurse with the wheelchair today, that was the reason.
That is an unfortunate loss for this Lake Central team. But it looks like they have been playing well tonight, so.
I haven't heard the severity of the injury, but, hopefully it's nothing too major, as Gerard Charlie still out. Ref is pushing people back off the field, which is not really a good sign, as Charlie is just not looking like he's able to move that leg. And, for the ref to move people off the field, that's not a good sign. Both teams going out there now. This is tough. Is that up there? What is it? No. Okay. Charlie able to stand up. But, yeah, he can't put any pressure on that leg. Trainers are helping him off. Trainer under his shoulder, and trainer holding up his leg that's not what you want to see here tonight.
But coming back to the game now, 2nd and 1 for the Lake Central Indians. We'll see if they can bring it home with maybe a quick run. And it looks like that's what they opt for, but not getting what they wanted.
As play was blown dead play was blown dead before Portage was able to strip that ball away. So that's, heartbreaking for Portage. But, when you lose and you stop moving, got to blow the whistle. And that was Isaac Hegwood with the would-be fumble.
And it looks like they sub in Garcia now. Maybe looking for a similar option here.
As Nichol still playing in the slot. It's the LC fan section getting loud here. 3rd down and 3 to go. Garcia for his 3rd of the night. Touchdown, Lake Central. For now, it's going to be 23-13, 10-point lead, 2-score game. Following the extra point, could be 24-13, as this is 23 unanswered points for Portage, as this Lake Central team has all the momentum right now.
4.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and this could be huge because Portage is probably feeling very unhappy about this game.
I hate to say it again, but we've got another player down. This time it's a Portage player. As you don't want to see this at all. This is 4 injuries in the 3rd quarter alone. That's awful. And like I said before, we're thinking of all these players, wishing them the best of luck recovering, but you can't, avoid this in football. It's just the way that football is. And it's a downside to the sport, but it's just always tough to see. These guys know what they signed up for, but even then, you don't want to wish this upon anyone.
But
I don't care if
also,
it's big rival school. You don't want to wish this on anyone.
But this also just shows the dedication of both teams right now.
Yeah.
And how much they're just playing their hearts out and just trying not to, obviously not trying to injure anyone, but it's going to happen when both teams are really going at it here.
Yeah. And player is coming off of the field now for Portage. Can't quite tell who that is, but Gerard Charlie still on the sidelines there with trainers, getting his leg worked on, and that's not what you want to see. Is kick is good. Isaac Hegwood almost got in for the block there, but it's a game of inches, and it's a couple inches away. 24-13, Lake Central Indians on top of the Portage Indians. So now we get to see this Lake Central defense that is playing incredible here. Ever since those 13 points, they've been playing incredible.
Yeah, after those 13 points, I mean, the defense really turned it on here, and they really just started shutting down the passing lanes. The run lanes have been clogged up, and, I mean, they've really just been stopping the main player, quarterback, Zach Warchus here. Just haven't let him run away with the game yet, and hopefully they won't.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Zach Warchus, he's great on the run, but he's been exposed so far in the passing game. I don't think, has he made a complete pass tonight? Maybe 1 or 2, but he's had a lot of crucial overthrows. He overthrew a receiver on 2 plays, and both of those plays, it looked like a touchdown. The receiver had to step on his man as Balden's kick goes out of the end zone. That will be a touchback. The Portage Indians starting on the 20-yard line here.
And that just goes to show how good this Indian defense has been tonight. That they're overthrowing passes because they don't have any open slots, so they just have to pray that it'll lay down in the right spot and they'll be able to catch the ball.
Absolutely is. It's the Lake Central defense not lacking the confidence here tonight. If you're just joining us, a player to keep an eye on the defense, number 99, Armand Irving, the nose tackle for this Indians team, has been just destroying as Jared Ivey drives the Portage running back right into the dirt there. Ivey's a bit of a reserve player, but that's an incredible play by Ivey.
Looks like it ends up being a loss of 2 yards and coming up on 2nd and 12 for Portage here. And like we've been saying, I mean, this LC defense, absolutely stellar, has been shutting down the run lanes like we just saw, has been blocking the passing lanes. I mean, there's just no, what do you do here for Portage? There's just no options.
Defensive coordinator Pat Winters is a motivator, and he has motivated this team ever since they gave up those first 13 points. As another incomplete pass there, this time the ball was accurate, but this time number 3, Tylee Swoops, was not ready for the pass. But as I was saying, Patrick Winters, he's a motivator. And I can almost guarantee you that when they gave up those first 2 touchdowns, Winters chewed those guys out. And, you know, that motivated them. And it's paid its dividends here. Third and 12 now. Worcester overthrows his wide receiver. I'm going to get this name right eventually. It's Worcester. I keep wanting to say like Worcester, you know, like the sauce. That's a sauce, right?
It is. It is a sauce.
That's what it's reminding me of, and it's throwing me off a bit.
Looks like we're coming up on 4th down here. I'm assuming that it's going to be a punt.
Punting unit is out there for Portage as Lake Central gets a chance to add to this lead. It's already a 2-score game, 2-touchdown game to be exact. You know, 11-point difference here. Punt is up. Takes a bounce, and Lake Central's going to receive this at the 48-yard line.
And we'll see if they can continue that run game that they've been just hammering into all game, and see if they bring out Garcia, or even Kreisbaum was doing some work at the start of this quarter here.
So let's see. Early look at the offense. Garcia is running out there. As Lake Central stayed in this pistol formation all game, and it's worked for them as Garcia breaking through, picking up the first down there.
Looks like they'll be spotted on Portage's 39-yard line, excuse me.
I mean, look, okay, we can't see what the players are seeing, but from up here, it looks like every running hole is stuffed. It looks like Portage is covering their gaps, you know, doing a good job. And Garcia is somehow able to slither through there. And, you know, that's purely talent-based for Sir Felix Garcia.
But you also have to give it to these offensive linemen.
Absolutely.
I mean, just really just opening up these areas for Garcia to come right through.
I mean, you could see on – oh. Sedano gets dragged down and flipped over. That was another big hit. Loss of 5, 2nd and 14 to go. But, you know, as I was saying, the O-line, they've done a great job scheming around this pass rush, too. You could see on, like, play-action passes that, you know, they're looping around guys, trapping them, running them into each other. It's really great coaching up front and, you know, talent.
And it looks like they try and get Lake Central tries to get a quick pass out, but it goes right out of bounds for an incomplete. And coming up on 3rd and 15 for the Lake Central Indians. We'll see what they can do here, and if they'll go for another long pass like they just did, or see if they can rely on their star player this game, Garcia.
3rd and 15 to go here. Now I'm looking, you know, I'm expecting a rollout pass. Sedano takes the snap, launches
Long
it
pass.
deep to Gills, and that was out of bounds. That's going to bring up 4th and 15 here. And out comes the punting unit. Haven't seen them for a while.
But that just shows how good this offense has been doing all game now.
Yeah, they've been, in manageable situations. That sack was not what you want to see, but, can't win every battle on the in the trenches. But Lake Central going to escape without a turnover and, just punt it away. So that's a booming kick there by Sedano. Downed at the 6, a flag on the play. So let's see what the flag is here. Holding on the receiving team. So that's going to push Portage back even more. Now on the, excuse me, now on the 3-yard line. These calls have been sneaking up on me. I don't have time to take my headset off.
Maybe Lake Central could even try and get a safety here on Portage. That would be gigantic for the pace of this game right now.
With this D line, you've got to, definitely got to watch out. And
looked like it was a fumble, but Zach Warchus recovered it and picked up maybe a yard. But that could have been huge.
That would have been
the LC defensive line rushing in, and if he wouldn't have recovered that fumble instantly, then it could have been a big safety there. But now coming up on 2nd and 10 for Portage, still at their own 3-yard line. Looks like a pass to the outside to number 5 for Portage, Scott Hansen.
As Hansen looks like he's a little bit short of the first down marker. They're going to say he's about 3 yards short there as we approach the 1-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
And 3rd and 3 for Portage. If LC can get a stop here, it's a punt, and they might even get it at the 40-yard line.
As neither team really set here. Portage have got to watch out for that play clock dwindling down past 7 seconds. Get the playoff. Or sure, rolling out. Makes the catch there with a nice toe-tapping catch there along the sidelines. I believe that was Warsher's first completed pass of the night.
And now Portage has it for 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Play clock is stopped too, so 36 seconds left. Read option here. Quarterback keeps it and picks up the first down. That was number 52. Number 52, Carter Schuster, in on the tackle there. As play clock is dwindling down here past 10 seconds. Portage has enough time to let the clock run. But they decide to get the pass off as that's completed there on the slant to, that was number 5, Scott Hansen, who just kept spinning and spinning and spinning after he got hit. Picks up the first down. And Portage looking pretty good. Score going into the 4th, 24, Lake Central, Portage 13. Now let's check out our social media one more time.
What's up, Lake Central? I'm Yusuf Tamari.
I'm Riley Nestrict.
And I'm Mia Martinez.
And we're your social media editors.
We manage 4 accounts for the high school: Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook.
We cover things such as sporting events, pep rallies, clubs, and concerts.
Make sure to follow us on all our accounts. And we'll see you around, Elsie.
We will win chant breaks out here right after that social media ad comes out. As Portage on their own 49-yard line here. Lake Central up 11, so Portage is going to need more than whatever they get on this drive to come back and win it, or tie it even. Pass is incomplete there. Accurate pass there by number 7, Zach Warchus, but number 13, Cody Taylor, just unable to haul it in there along the sidelines.
Looked like it could have been slightly overthrown. Hard to see from this angle. But we haven't seen a lot of passing from Portage this game, or either team for that matter, as LC has been mostly sticking with their run game with Kreisbaum and Garcia, and Portage has been mainly sticking with their running back and number 26 here, Isaac Hegwood.
And receiver breaks free, but he steps out of bounds. That was number 3, Ty Lee, swoops there. Looked like he had a lot of room to work with, but, you know, just a little toe tap on the sideline. That's going to call it dead.
Looked like he had a few defenders waiting for him on the other side, though.
And that was a loud whistle from the fan section. 3rd and 4 here. As the Lake Central defense going 2 safeties up top. Linebacker comes in on the blitz. It's picked up there, swoops again. Portage now seems to have figured out the passing game. And Portage picking up the first down there with a little over 11 minutes to go here. And
Looks like Portage throwing deep, overthrowing his man is Warchus again.
see, every time Warchus has had an open man deep that looks like it could go for a touchdown, it ends up being an overthrow, and that's really, really backbreaking for an offense. You know, they might have missed out on 21 points just off of overthrows, you know, including the extra point. Even excluding that, you know, that's like 18 points. As it's a run here with Hegwood. Hegwood driving and gets flipped up right there by Caleb Griffin. But that's going to be good enough for a Portage first down. Armand Irving checking out of the game now. As Indians still showing the same cover 2 look here with the 2 safeties up top. Oh!
And it looks like they try to go towards number 11, Mason Hollowell, but it is incomplete for Portage.
Looked like number 55, Zach Rangel there. Like he was just waiting there to make a break on that ball. So we got a train coming through.
And it looks like Warchus throwing, but his wide receiver, number 5, Scott Hansen, is pushed back quite a few yards by this Lake Central defense.
As Marco Chiapponi in there for the tackle. 3rd down and 13 coming up now.
From the Lake Central 26.
As this has been the closest game we've had for Lake Central all year. You know, not a blowout on either side of the ball. Lake Central's not blowing them out. Portage isn't blowing us out.
And we'll see what happens here, because even if they get a stop on 3rd and 13, even if Portage gains a couple yards, they'll definitely go for it on 4th.
There's Warcher looking towards the sidelines. Say he stepped out. Question is, did he make the catch in time? And they say he did, but not going to be enough for a 1st down. Now I'd like to take this time to thank all our lovely helpers here. We've got Brenna Thompson. She's been working camera and now working our scoreboard tonight. Jake Malatestinik has been on camera and scoreboard as well, as is Anaya Tompkins, also working. We've got our producer here, Giovanni Alcantar, watching from behind us, directing everything, and Elena Sarin has also been up on camera, as well as Kennedy Carnegie covering on the field. Big shout out to all those guys. Could not do it without them. We'd also like to give an advisor to, or excuse me, we'd also like to give a shout out to our advisors, Ms. Wadicki and Mrs. Verputin. And Miss Flores as well. And Portage called a timeout there. They're thinking about going for it, and you know, you got to make sure to talk this one over, because if you mess this one up with 10 minutes left in the game and the way LC's been running the rock, that could be it.
Yeah, LC has been running the rock quite well this game, I would have to say.
As out comes Armand Irving, as the Lake Central cheerleaders getting the crowd pumped up with the #1 chant.
Looks like Portage is going to go for it on 4th down.
Low snap there. Warsher.
Looking for a receiver, can't find one.
And
throws.
It's caught.
And it's caught.
That was a great play there by Portage.
I mean, there's not much you can do about that if you're
Yeah.
the LC defense there. He throws it high. The wide receiver jumps for it, executes a perfect catch, and it was right there for him. And there's not much you can do there.
Zach Warchus with a great rollout there to buy himself some more time. He's allowing his receivers to get open. Just he didn't really get open. They just jumped higher than LC. And sometimes that's what it takes, as Hagwood
Looks like he brings it into the end zone.
gets into the end zone. Lake Central saying they have it. One ref says it's a touchdown. No signal from the other refs yet.
Isaac Hedgewood for the touchdown for Portage.
Refs still deliberating, as there's the final marking for the touchdown. As it was there was a fumble, but the runner had crossed the plane of the goal line before and was down. So that's going to be 6 for Portage. Let's see if they can make it 7.
And I think once the Lake Central offense gets the ball back here, they're just going to be trying to get some quick runs out and just bring down the time clock. I mean, that's all they have to do for the rest of this game.
Definitely got to be aware of the clock here.
Especially if they get a few big runs or even small runs for just first downs, then that clock will just continue to run out. .9:44 left in the 4th quarter here. Indians leading 24. Portage has 19.
As there's a timeout called on the extra point. Portage might be trying to go for it here, because if they go for it and they get the 2-point conversion, then it becomes a field goal game. But if they don't get it here, then they need a touchdown, which is, you know, the same as what they would have needed if they had just kicked the extra point.
And I know that Derek Balden has quite a strong leg, per se, as we've seen him kick it during practices, even from 40, even 45 yards. So I think in a game of
That is caught there. It's a 3-point game. Indians still on top. It's 24-21. Lake Central Indians, I should say. There's about 9:44 left here. Now Lake Central's really got to be aware of the clock now. Try to just milk the clock as much as you can. But you know, this is huge here on offense. If you turn it over, then not only are you losing that momentum, you're giving Portage a lot of time to score.
Smith and Creaseball back to receive for Lake Central Indians.
Looks like Creasbaum is receiving for the Lake Central Indians, as Portage is still deliberating at the 40-yard line.
Portage looks like now would be a perfect time to go for an onside kick. You know, you're down by 3, you get the ball back, you have a lot of time to work with. So definitely got to think LC's expecting that onside kick. And it's a regular kickoff out the back of the end zone.
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Lake Central Indians on their own 20-yard line. And we'll see if they can maybe pull ahead here with another touchdown or even another field goal. Would be very nice.
20-yard line, 1st and 10.
As Lake Central talking it over, they know how important this drive is here. As out comes the offense. Sir Felix Garcia is the running back they come out with first. Garcia gets the handoff, bounces outside, runs a man over, is brought down after about a gain of 6 there.
And I think this is exactly what Lake Central is looking to do. Gain 4-5 yards with Garcia, and then just let that time clock run down as much as they can until the next play.
Absolutely. It's the small gains that are really going to wear a defense down and wear the clock down too. You know, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, you know, that's incredible for a team.
But I think especially since Portage knows they're going to be looking for the run game, I think LC might even go for a big pass here.
Definitely, now would be a great time to work in a play action shot here. As Garcia gets the ball again, they might not even need the play action there. It's Garcia just putting the team on his back, picking up another first down.
Garcia, you just hand him the ball and he'll just push through that whole just series of people coming at him. There always seems to be one guy on him immediately that just gets thrown to the side.
As the Lake Central's offense comes out now. Man in motion as we have, you know, very good news here that's bigger than football. Number 42, Gerard Charlie, is back out there on the field for the Indians. Not sure what happened, but, you know, great to see him out there on the field. We'd like to give a shout out to all our viewers watching. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So we thank you. Second down and 10 here. Portage showing blitz. And that's going to be a false start on the defense there. Encroachment, my apologies. That was number 45, John Dahl. on Portage, who got a little bit jumpy there on the on the blitz. Encroachment is the false start for defense, so my apologies. Second down and 5 coming up for the Indians following the 5-yard penalty. Sedano with the handoff to Garcia. Garcia picking up another first down. Just shaking everyone off him.
Looked like there was a big hole there on the left side of the field, and Garcia just took the ball and just ran with it.
Garcia really showing off that vision here tonight. Is, he's been able to find the hole that we can't see from up in the air. And, he's got all these guys running at him, and he's finding it, which is really impressive, especially for a high school running back.
And it is 1st and 10 now for the Lake Central Indians, and they've brought the clock down to around 7 minutes at this point, which is exactly what they're wanting to do this game.
As Sedano with the keeper now. Sedano, it's dragged down by about 4 Portage defenders there. As Danny Nichol checks into the game here. Sedano getting the call from his coach on the sidelines, bringing it out to the offense. Now, it's been all run plays here for this quarter. And, you want to see the flashy stuff. You want to see the play action shot deep. But just keep running the ball. It's going to keep the clock moving. Say if LC does go to pass it. That pass could be intercepted. It could be incomplete and stop the clock. Sedano could be sacked. The snap could go wrong. I'm saying, just stick to what has been working this drive, and that is the run, 100%.
And it looks like they're calling it a 3rd and 1 here now for Lake Central.
And that's a little bit closer than 1, but we can only put 1 up on our scoreboard. I would say maybe even watch a dive play here with Sedano. If he comes out under center, which he does. He's going to have to go up against a nose tackle there, but this is a huge play here as we are approaching the 5-minute mark. Sedano drives and he's stuffed, but did he pick it up? On the second effort, Sedano was spinning around there.
It looks like he was immediately stuffed, but picked up some kind of second wind and came around to the left to possibly pick up this first down.
They're going to bring out the chain gang here as see where to mark it, and they mark it 4th down and 1. That's the initial ruling here, but now out comes the chain gang. Offense and defense clearing away for them. There's 5 minutes left here. Lake Central's done a great job draining the clock here, and this is going to be close. It's going to be very close, and he is short. Lake Central, they got to think about going for it here as they're going to remeasure. We could see how close it is, and that's about a hand, maybe about, if you take your hand and you point it straight, that might be the length of it. That's very close, and, at least from our perspective up here, as Lake Central not looking like they're going to punt here. They're going to go for it, try to keep this clock moving. Sedano not under center here. Watch a read option. That it is as Garcia picks up the first down, and he's got a lot more. Garcia, 20, 15, 10, down at the 5. Huge pickup for Lake Central. That brings them into the red zone with just a little under 5 minutes left here.
And
Huge pickup.
If Lake Central picks up a touchdown here, that might be just the end of it. That might be just putting Portage to sleep here. And my God, Garcia has just come up huge throughout this entire game. 3 touchdowns, possibly looking to make it 4 on this play. And, I mean, he's just been throwing guys to the side. He's been truly, truly amazing this game.
Garcia has been incredible. Like, this is a treat to watch him right now. As they give it to Creasbaum. Creasbaum met, stopped, in. Touchdown Indians. Lake Central, that is.
Lake Central extends their lead by 9 points now, possibly looking to make it 10.
As Creasbaum looked like he got, stopped there. But then on that second effort, he was able to spin around, get it back in. I'm not sure if our microphones picked that up, but somebody was chanting overrated. Don't know who they were chanting it to. And out comes Derek Baldwin to make this a 10-point game. Kick is up and no good.
Looked like it was possibly tipped.
Went wide right. It's a 9-point game here. Still a 2-possession game.
And now we'll really see the pressure put on the Lake Central Indians defense here as they come out and they're going to try and stop this Portage offense. And this could be huge. If LC gets the ball back here, we could see them just run out the rest of the clock with a couple runs.
Absolutely. I mean, they did a fantastic job running the clock out on that drive. They wasted about 5 minutes, and they got all the way down the field. But, this game's starting to look out of reach for Portage. I don't want to jinx it. We don't have any wood up here in the booth, but if we did, I would be knocking on it right now.
And it looks like this Lake Central team just trying to get this crowd pumped up.
And it looks like the crowd is pumped up here. And the players on the sidelines, the fan section. There was a little bit of controversy with the fan section today. People saying, it wasn't lively enough. Well, it's shown out here, and it's been great. A great fan section for a great game tonight.
The energy has been absolutely amazing. Even though we're not down there with them right now, you can feel it from up here.
We can feel it from up here. And Lake Central's defense now getting ready to take the field. If LC wins this one, they improve to 2-1 on the season, which would get them above the 500 hump. Now, earlier in the broadcast, I told you that Lake Central's defense was not going to let Portage quarterback Zach Werchus beat them, and they haven't let him beat them. He's not been on his A game today. The blitz almost gets there. Quarterback running down the sidelines, got a lot of room here. Gets pushed out of bounds there, but puts Caleb Griffin flat on his back, all with a stiff arm.
And the man we were just talking about, Warchus, seems to just run away with it there, but he does get stopped around the 46-yard line. And I don't even think that he's been having a bad day. I think that the Lake Central defense has just been really just turning it up here at the burial grounds and absolutely taking over the field.
And little bobble on the snap there. Caught by Tyrone Swopes there. That's going to be a pickup of about 5 to 6.
Coming up now on 2nd and 5 for Portage with 3:40 left on the clock, which is still running. We'll see what Portage can do with it.
And pass was low and incomplete. Receiver looked like he had his hands on it, but Jared Ivey was right there and was able to break that one up as the receiver was going to the ground. 3:27 left in this game here tonight.
3rd and 5 for Portage, and if Lake Central can get a stop here, I don't think Portage will be going for it. But we may see them go for it as a last-ditch effort anyway.
As run with Hegwood there. Up the middle, gain of, not sure what the gain is, but it's a first down. As Portage kind of abandoned their run game with Hegwood. And, you know, he was doing pretty good in the beginning of this game. But they just abandoned it, especially in the second half. They came out trying to pass, and there's a nice catch.
But it looks like now Portage is chunking away and moving up towards Lake Central's 30-yard line.
This is big for Lake Central as we're approaching the 2-minute mark, just under 3 minutes here left to go.
Because even if Portage scores a touchdown and
down
Warchus goes down.
Goes Warchus, number 58. That was Mark Henry Derogine as the overrated chants come flying out. Again, we're not sure where they're from, but I think they're directed at Portage. And Hegwood again up the middle on 3rd down. Now facing a 4th down. 4th down and 5 to be exact here. If Portage does not get this, this game is as good as over. 32-yard line. Can't kick the field goal here. Absolutely cannot punt it here. So Lake Central comes out in a base defense. Mark Henry Derogine getting there. Pass incomplete. Griffin with the pass break up there as that pass was low and in the dirt.
And number 7 for Lake Central, Caleb Griffin, with amazing coverage on that play, just right on top of that wide receiver, not allowing him to get any room and no chance for a pass to slip in.
As that could be the game here. With 1:45 left, Lake Central Indians ball. Portage Indians on defense. Lake Central 30, Portage 21. Portage does have 2 timeouts though, so Lake Central's got to make sure to keep this ball moving.
Looks like Lake Central is number 1 Garcia back on the field, handing it to him actually. And a gain of about 4 yards for Garcia.
Scott Hansen in there on the tackle. Portage not calling a timeout here. I'm not sure I understand why. If they did call the timeouts, they would have, you know, one final shot at the end zone. Odds are they wouldn't be able to get another shot as it is a 2-possession game. But Portage is just going to let LC run this clock out. And on that note, Simon, I think you're the good luck charm for this team. Your first game commentating, our first win at home, offense playing incredibly, defense shutting everything down. Tell me how you feel about your first game.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good here, as at first it looked like a grim start for the Indians, but now they've just completely brought it back and just been annihilating this Portage defense. And I mean, really, I think that, you know, future games, maybe we'll get some more wins at home.
So this was definitely a nail biter here, but you know, over the week we saw some controversy. We saw the football team almost blaming the fan section for, you know, being quiet and not being in the game. Well, fan section was in the game today and definitely paid off, as looking like Lake Central is going to walk out of here with a win. Clock ticks down. Less than 30 seconds remain. 31 on the play clock. Lake Central's going to let this one run down. 18 seconds. This is going to be the longest 12 seconds of our lives. Feel free to take a stretch at home. Players shaking hands. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Indians win 30-21. Lake Central on top. First win at the Burial Grounds. Lake Central improves to 2-1. Portage falls to 1-2. That's going to be it for tonight, Lake Central. Have a nice night.